Today's talk is entitled The Winged Disc, the Fifth Sun. And so what I'm going to do is talk about the winged disc. I've put it into other videos, my interpretation of what I believe that to be. And the winged disc, obviously most people can read, they can get onto Wikipedia, but I want to draw attention to what is written in the King James Bible. The Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And to me it's the sun changing frequency, and in that frequency it sends out filaments. Obviously I've talked about these filaments before, and I think that these filaments are showing signs of now forming. But before I go forward to discuss the filaments and why I think that they're forming, I'd like to take you to an article from a website, and it's pictured at the bottom, so you can actually read that, the link to it, that is, so that you can read this for yourself. The origins and the use of the winged sun disc. In the book Practical Egyptian Magic, and it references Murray Hope, the emblem of the element of air. This consists of a circular solar type disc enclosed by a pair of wings. In ritual magic, it is suspended over an altar in the easterly direction and used when invoking the protection and cooperation of the sleeves. So these symbols come from ancient Egypt, but they're used in some magical way. A Masonic reference describes it. The winged disc we find the text summarized in the myths of Horus. Horus commanded Thoth, the winged disc, should be brought into every sanctuary wherein he dwelt, and into every sanctuary all the gods of the land in the south and the north, in order that they may drive away evil from therein. This is what is meant by the winged disc, which is seen over entrance of courts, temples, and of the gods and the goddesses of Egypt. So there are other occultist groups, the Rosicrucian references from the Rosicrucian. The winged globe is preeminently Rosicrucian symbol, although the Illuminati may lay claim to it, and it may be admitted that it is of an Egyptian origin. The winged globe is a symbol of the perfected soul making its flight back to the source of its creation in the Elysian fields beyond. So we have a reference of that in the King James Bible, of the rising of the soul. So this is pretty strange stuff anyway. So I'll carry on. I'll just read the rest of this article, but anyone can it's trying to get an understanding of what this winged disc is, and it may not be quite relevant to the changing sun that I'm talking about, but it's interesting mythology. The use of this symbol doesn't relate to the society's use of it in any recognizable way. Russell and Rutherford, to my knowledge, did not speak of perfect souls flying back to any Elysian fields, unless they were using it to to symbolize flying back to the Pleiades upon their resurrection. Where did Russell get this symbol? What did it mean to him? Did he get it from ancient mythology or Egyptian mythology? He was also clearly interested in the hidden spiritual significance of the Great Pyramid of Egypt and spent much of his time discussing its importance. He also believed in a coming golden age. So we have a changing sun, or we have a winged sun and a changing age, which has its parallels in ancient Egyptian mythology. He also spoke of a coming golden age when gods would come down and rule the earth and usher in paradise. This seems to be the extent of the parallels between the two. So they now go to comment on, or the website goes to comment on Freemasonry. The most likely source, it would appear to me, would be the apparent involvement with Freemasonry. There is some evidence that Russell was a Mason, and the winged disc it claimed to be a 33-degree Masonic symbol. But obviously the Egyptian symbol and the other symbols, because it's not only Egyptian, have been adopted by the Freemasons. The meaning of it is supposedly, like most of the spiritual beliefs of this group, kept secret by its members. And I reckon the members, including NASA, know about it. They know that the sun is going to change, and they know that it is changing now. You only have to stand in the shade and it's freezing cold, and you stand in the sun and it's boiling hot. You know, there isn't a farmer that I've talked to that doesn't know that our sun is changing. We haven't got any sunspots. We've got orbs popping out of them. You know, and we've got NASA shut, or at least whoever's controlling the helio view when you can look at the sun, taking it offline when certain things are occurring. This is the time of the rebirth of our sun, as our ancient ancestors told us. Unfortunately, it has been hijacked by these Freemasons. So the article carry on. If this is the source of the use of the symbol, it may explain why he never explained why he started using it on his publications, or what it actually meant to mean to him or other Freemasons. And so that's an adoption of an Egyptian symbol by the Freemasons, and that's at cnet.com. Obviously, the disc, which is to me just the sun, and the serpents are just what could be classed as a type of photon, a wave or a serpent, and the wings are just filaments from the sun. So I talked about it in a previous video about the quadrupolar sun, and how that it would create four poles on the sun, and these poles as magnetic filaments could break off, blast off the sun, creating a winged effect. Now obviously I showed in those videos the Hans Glaser wood effect, which is a woodcut from just after the end of the Spora minimum, which is a solar minimum. We've just gone through a sunspot minimum. So and he witnessed the winged disc. He also witnessed the orbs, the bars, and the waves coming out of the sun. So we've got your serpents coming out of the sun, you've got your spheres coming out of the sun, and you've got the wings on the disc. So, seen before, I understand it as magnetic filaments pushing out of the sun. And on my channel is our changing sun and wind orbs, the orbs that come out of the sun or form from the sun and blast out of the sun. So why do I think that there's a possibility that we're moving closer to this type of event? Well, I've been saying it for a long time now, over 20 years. So I could be just desiring this result to prove all my theories. I have enough evidence for all my theories anyway. This would just be another piece. I mean, we have it in rock art. The fugue-like theory, the magnetic cooling theory, there's so much of it. It holds more water than anything else. It's just unfortunately that science doesn't want to look at it because it means the death of the linear mechanistic model, and in some ways the death of the atheists who support that. So what we have this week is a recent image of what look like two coronal holes in the sun, or off the surface of the sun, which to me are beginning to look like the development of what I was expecting of these wings. They will come from the east-west axis of the sun and push out in filament terms. You may not be able to get it, so I will try and describe it. So you can probably see it in this final image, the one zoomed out. A pyramid effect on the east side of the sun. Well, could be west, but depend on which way you're looking at. So what we have is this collage is there are magnetic loops forming in a paired situation, and between the pair you get a solar expulsion. So that pushes out a jet, and that jet of charged plasma is creating a coronal hole, and these are forming, and I will suggest now that they have the potential to expand. When this solar expulsion increases and the magnetics go from the midpoint of the sun to its pole, they will push out the wings, and so we will have the rebirth of the sun, and we will have that healing as well, because obviously the sun is reborn and it brings around the new energy which the Mayans told us of, which the Sumerians told us, and many of the ancient Hopi things talk about the ages and the suns. The Vedic scriptures talk about a golden age. So, will I ever be able to get the evidence for this? It may happen in my lifetime. Will I get the evidence for it? Probably not. What happens with the helioviewer when these events occur is they just close it down so nobody can see it. So I suppose we have to wait for the Hans Glaser event, which he saw in 1561, and then the whole world will experience the birth of the new sun. Is that in my lifetime? I'm not a prophet. I have just done the research into the Orban wave. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I'll just keep you updated with all my ideas of how this thing is unfolding. Thank you. Goodbye.